Well, hey guys, this is Pastor Steve here this morning. I just wanted to share a brief meditation with you from Galatians chapter 4. Um, Verse 8 says, but in the past when you didn't know God, you were enslaved to things that by nature are not God's. But now, since you know God, or rather have become known by God, how can you turn back to the weak and bankrupt elemental forces? Do you want to be enslaved to them all over again? You observe special days, months, seasons, and years. I am fearful for you that perhaps my labor for you has been wasted. This whole idea of when you were a slave to things that by nature were not God's and turning back to the bankrupt and elemental forces. The principle here is one of pleasing God by your behavior. If you recognize that you cannot please God by your behavior and you come to Him by faith, saying, okay, God, I'm trusting in the finished work of the Messiah, then after that, do you go back to now pleasing God by faith? Pleasing God by works. So you come to Him by faith, recognizing that your works cannot save you. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, now that I'm saved, now that I'm trusting Him for my relationship with Him, now He'll be happy with me with my works. And, what the Lord's saying here through Paul is that's just foolish. It's just foolish to think that now that I know God by faith, I can please Him by works. That's going back to the elemental forces. And here the Galatians were doing it with good religious intentions. They were honoring the special days, the special months, the special years that God had prescribed in the law, but they believed that through that they would be closer to God than they were by faith. They would be better pleasing to God than they were by faith. And the truth is, the greatest that I can please God is by faith in the Messiah. I cannot please Him any greater by following that up with what I'm doing. So I can honor God by obeying Him, but I cannot get closer to Him. I cannot be a better believer or a better Christian or a better person or a better child of His. I am either a child of His, perfect in the Messiah, or I am not a child of His and cannot improve in any way, shape, or form. So I hope this meditation is encouraging for you, especially for the many believers who are trying to get closer to God by what they do. And recognize that according to Scripture, according to this in Galatians here, do not turn back to the weak and elemental forces that couldn't save you in the first place, which is the works that you do. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and God bless.